Let us see what are the factors affecting the rate of corrosion. There are two important factors. Based on that, we can classify into three different categories. One is the ratio of anodic to cathodic area, and second one is the nature of corrosion product, and third one is the nature of metal. And based on corrosion medium, again there are three more factors. One is pH, then temperature, and third one is conductance of the medium. So we'll see the factors based on metal. First one is the ratio of anodic to cathodic area. If this ratio is very small, rate of corrosion is very high. If this ratio is very small, anodic to cathodic area, if this ratio is very small, rate of corrosion will be very high. When do we get this small ratio? If anode is very small, cathode is very large, ratio becomes very high. So why rate of corrosion increases? Because at anode oxidation reaction takes place, and whatever electrons liberated at anode will readily consumed by the cathode, since cathode is very large. So that increases rate of corrosion. One best example here, a broken coating of tin on iron surface enhances corrosion of iron or steel. Broken tin. Here tin acts as cathode, and iron acts as anode. Tin coating over iron surface, here tin acts as cathode and iron acts as anode. So very small anodic region and very large cathodic surface, so rate of corrosion is very high. Similarly here you can observe this material also. Then second factor is nature of metal. If the metal is highly reactive, then rate of corrosion is very high. Highly reacted, when we take to, for example, if you take two dissimilar metals, then the metal with the lower electrode potential is always highly reactive, so it acts as anode, and metal with the higher electrode potential, it acts as cathode. So corrosion always it takes place at anode. So rate of the reaction, oxidation reaction will be very high, since that metal is very reactive. Rate of corrosion is also very high. So metals like iron, zinc, then sodium, potassium, all these metals are highly reactive. They have very low electrode potentials. Metals like noble metals or inert metals like silver, gold, platinum, etc. They are less reactive. They have very high corrosion tendency. The nature of third factor is nature of the corrosion product. If the corrosion product formed is, after corrosion, if the corrosion product formed is stable, uniform, non-porous, insoluble, then it acts as one protective layer over the metal surface. It prevents further corrosion. At the same time, if the corrosion product formed is unstable, if it is not uniform, then porous, soluble in the corrosion medium, then that increases the rate of corrosion, or rate of corrosion will be very high. So for example, in the case of aluminium or chromium, tin, even in the presence of oxidizing environment, these metals will undergo corrosion and they'll form one oxide layer. So this oxide layer, it acts as protective layer, or it prevents further corrosion. At the same time, in oxidizing environment, metals like sodium, potassium, iron, etc., they'll also form their oxide layer, but it is highly unstable. It increases rate of corrosion. Then factors related to nature of the medium, as I told earlier. First, for example, pH of the medium. Uh, if the pH is in between 3 to 10, for example, I can see here, if the pH is very low, then rate of corrosion is very high, because at lower pH, rapid evolution of hydrogen takes place at cathodic surface. So anodic rate of cathodic reaction increases. At the same time, in rate of anodic reaction also increases, and at lower pH, dissolution of the corrosion product also takes place. So whatever protective film formed over the metal surface, that will be dissolved, that increases rate of corrosion. If the pH above 10, practically, theoretically there is no corrosion, but there are some elements, metals, like if they have amphoteric in nature, like aluminium, then rate of corrosion increases, because it will act both as uh, acid or base. So it increases rate of corrosion. But the pH between 3 to 10, corrosion occurs only in the presence of oxygen. If there is no oxygen, no corrosion. Then second factor is under corrosion medium, that is, or nature of the medium, that is conductivity. If the corrosion medium is highly conducting, then rate of corrosion increases. This is because uh, higher the conductivity of the medium, the rate migration velocity of ions also very high, or these ions will move from anodic to cathodic. The migration between anodic and cathodic will be very high, so that increases rate of corrosion. Example, seawater. Corrosion problem is more in the seawater than fresh water. Then last factor, that is temperature. In any chemical reaction, if the temperature is very high, rate of chemical reaction is very high. So corrosion is also one of the chemical reactions, so rate of corrosion is also very high. With the increase in temperature, the rate of chemical reaction increases, as I told. Increase in temperature, that increases conductance of the aqueous medium. Since ions gain kinetic energy, they will move very fast, and rate of corrosion also increases. And increase in the temperature, there will be decrease in the passivity of the metal. See, I told in the previous video, aluminium, chromium, or titanium, they'll show passivity nature, but at higher temperature, the passivity nature, it decreases, they'll become little reactive metals, so rate of corrosion increases. Then an increase in temperature increases solubility of the corrosion product formed. As I, if the in, if you increase the temperature, the product formed is also soluble, that increases rate of corrosion. Then due to increase in temperature, there will be breakdown of protective film formed over the metal surface, so that increases rate of corrosion. So these are the factors affecting rate of corrosion. Very important factors. Three factors based on nature of metal, and three factors based on nature of corrosion medium. Next, types of corrosion. There are actually 4 types of corrosion, but we are going to study only 2 types: differential metal corrosion and differential aeration corrosion. Differential metal corrosion is also called as galvanic corrosion. Galvanic corrosion. So differential metal corrosion is corrosion in a bimetallic couples. When we combine two dissimilar metals, metal with the lower electrode potential will act as anode, and metal with the higher electrode potential will act as anode. But corrosion takes place only at anode, or metal with the lower electrode potential will undergo corrosion. One best example for this, steel pipes joined to copper plumbing. Here steel is nothing but it's an alloy of iron. So Fe has lower electrode potential than copper. You can compare the electrode potential here. Fe has minus 0.44, but the copper has plus 0.34. So iron will act as anode, so it will undergo corrosion. Another example, steel screws or rivets used on copper sheets. So same example here also, steel screws will undergo corrosion and copper sheet will be unaffected. Then steel propeller shaft in bronze bearing. Again bronze, it contains copper, so steel will undergo corrosion. How to minimize galvanic corrosion? When we select the metals, we have to select these two dissimilar metals should be very close to each other in galvanic series or even in electrochemical series. So what happens, the potential difference, electrode potential difference between these two elements will be very low, so rate of corrosion will be very low. Then selecting metals such that cathodic area should be small and anodic area should be large. One of the factors, ratio of anodic to cathodic area, if it is very small, rate of corrosion is also very low. But if cathode is very small and anode is very large, rate of corrosion will be very low. Then preventing the contact between the two metals through proper insulation. We have to keep some insulation between the two metals, so that also decreases rate of corrosion. Second important type of corrosion, that is differential aeration corrosion. This type of corrosion, it occurs due to the formation of concentration cell on the metal surface. And the reason for the concentration cell over the metal surface, if the same metal is exposed to different oxygen concentration, that leads to oxygen concentration cell, that is called as differential aeration corrosion. See here, best example for this, part of the nail inside the wall being exposed to lower oxygen concentration than exposed part. And so this part of the nail inside the wall will undergo corrosion because it is exposed to less oxygen concentration than outside. Then paper pins inside the paper gets corroded and the exposed part is free from corrosion. Metal under dirt, dust, scale or water undergoes corrosion. There are two types of differential aeration corrosion. One is waterline corrosion and pitting corrosion due to difference in the oxygen corrosion, due to difference in the oxygen concentration. This is waterline corrosion, and this is due to the formation of pits or holes. Let us see what is waterline corrosion. Corrosion of water storage tank in which water is stored for a long period. Another example for waterline corrosion, ocean going ships. So in both the cases, we can observe one brown line above the water level. For example, here above the water level, you can observe one brown line, that is due to the corrosion of here in the case of ship, it is due to the corrosion of ship hull. So here the part of the ship inside the water, it acts as anode, and part of the ship hull above the water level, it acts as cathode. So anode is exposed to very low oxygen concentration, that is dissolved oxygen, and above the water level it is exposed to atmospheric oxygen. So it acts as cathode, it is exposed to higher oxygen concentration. So here only corrosion occurs only at anode, and because of this you can observe one brown line over the water surface. Even in the case of water tank, one brown line can be observed inside the water tank above the water level. So this is called as waterline corrosion. But in the case of ocean ship sunk under the water will not suffer from waterline corrosion because the difference between the difference in the oxygen concentration from top to bottom is very low, or it is negligible, or whole ship will be exposed to uniform oxygen concentration. So that's why it will not undergo any corrosion, or rate of corrosion will be very low. Next one is pitting corrosion. Pitting corrosion is a localized and accelerated corrosion resulting in the formation of pits or pinholes around which the metal is relatively unattacked. Say small hole or pit, if it is formed, that particular region will act as anode. Rest of the surface will act as cathode. So rate of corrosion will be very high. So that's why pitting corrosion is highly localized and accelerated corrosion. Once it undergoes corrosion, then that increases rate of corrosion. For example, less serrated part of the machinery, less serrated parts of the barbed wires, cracks in metals which are not well aerated. These are the examples for pitting corrosion. Next, corrosion control. It's very important that we'll see in the next video.